The snow is coming down more heavily outside of the Shackleboard Tavern in the ruins of Merewood. All of the refugees that you've saved under the leadership of Briggs Bramblehorn are packed and ready to go, but your group gathered in the tavern itself is in the midst of discussing what to do next.
As they sort of stand about the tower, or the tavern. Jumped ahead there.
Oh, we're already at
The power of narrative. They sit about the sort of tavern, people, I guess, in different positions, sort of looking over gear, maybe, and just prepping and sort of discussing the final stages of getting ready to leave. Ava sort of is looking out the window at the some of the people standing out there in the snow, and recognizing just sort of the older people who are standing out there, and some of the younger ones, some who look like they may have had some injury, maybe from long ago or maybe more recently. But it starts to dawn on her just how unlikely it seems that they're going to be able to make much of any pace. So she clears her throat a little bit, sort of like looks around, probably so quietly that it doesn't actually help very much. And then it says, "Hey, probably close nearby, Esmond and Briggs. Esmond, I know you're real excited to go, but like, we might have to change what we're doing. If we try to move with all these people, it's going to take like twice as long to do anything. They can't travel that fast."
As Ava says this, Digsman Samsel lifts a tray of tea in small cups and sets them up on the table. As you look at one of the chairs, you see that it's empty. Salinger's not in it. Why would he be in it? But he is real. Losing your mind. As you look to the corner of the room, Seifred's not leaning against the door. Why would she be?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I got too excited, but we okay, then we either need to give them directions to get to Shepherd's End, or we leave them here. But we need to leave today or tomorrow to head towards that tower. Based on what I found in these letters, I think there might be more information there.
We can do kind of both. I mean, I can talk with Briggs about setting stuff up here and getting stuff a little bit ready for just a few days or weeks or whatever. And maybe we can take just a couple of the ones who could keep up with us, and we'll like square them halfway, and then they can just go the rest of the way ahead and like talk to people at Shepherd's End and let them know that we have like a bunch of people that we need to make room for and stuff.
Yeah, that could work. I mean, it's a bunch of older folks and children, but I'm sure there's some older children or some more agile folks that could potentially make that trip. I mean, what about the rest of you guys? What do you all think?
I think we're underestimating these folks. They're the people who have survived up until this point. They've been fighting off those shuffling corpses and hiding and keeping safe up until this point. And now that their town is safe, now that there's no more direct threat from all those awful creatures, I don't know, maybe we ask them all what they want to do. I feel like it's just as safe here as Shep's End, if not more fortified. If they want to trek on with us, they can. But I wouldn't put anything on them for being old or young or unable to. They've survived till now.
Briggs, a large hand takes up a tiny teacup and sips from it audibly before looking at each of you. It says, with all the monsters gone, well, we could certainly scavenge enough supplies to stay here for a while, but Mirwood's got no way of making food. There's no farmland here. We depended on shipments coming in on the trains. So once it runs out, we'll have to move on. We'll have to move on in time that we got food enough to get there.
Okay. So, how about... I mean, it sounds like I think what I said would work. Like, maybe, Casey, could you try to find amongst the 100, like, a few candidates who seem like they could keep up? And Bramble will leave you guys, most of you guys, here for just a bit, and then we come back within a week or two to try to help. And if we don't show up, well, it's pretty easy to follow the tracks even if you had to go without us. And by then, hopefully the messengers would have already been there, and you'll have more of a warm welcome and such.
Brig. Yeah, shit.
Was there not some sort of farm or village next to the tower on those maps?
Pause for 1 second. Okay, continue on. I can start with
that. I think there's a small village near the stone tower. My concern is just getting there as soon as possible.
But what I am saying is that if we go there and we find that there are still people there, or the place is still fine for, well, I suppose it's a bit late for farming, but food viability, maybe we can just come back and tell the Mirwood survivors about this place, and they can make it into a new home instead of necessarily coming to Shepherd's End. Also, and she kind of looks a little bit at having seen how fast Briggs and some of the others walk. I think even if you left now and you went to Shepherd's End directly following the railroad, and we went to the tower and then up, if I remember correctly, based on how fast we traveled here, we would probably end up meeting there at the same time. So whichever way you want to go, come back here or go straight there, I'm sure we could meet you.
You guys hear the metal clang clang as Briggs kind of taps on his prosthetic leg. It says, as it said, all the able-bodied. Well, the sad fact is they all died trying to protect all this. Couldn't do it ourselves. I think there's plenty of us be willing to go with you or do anything you need to do, but if I had to guess, we probably travel about half as fast as you do. And then Digsman Samsel she kind of pops her head up a little bit and says, what about me? I can go with you. There's nothing for me to do here. And everything I was doing just doesn't make sense anymore. I'm more than willing to help. You all saved me.
Yeah, I guess maybe one's enough. Would you be alright on your own for a couple of days following the tracks?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've been in some tough scrapes, and I'll be okay.
It's hard to stay on watch by yourself, but if you think you can do it, I mean, I guess that's enough. Unless you guys think we need anyone else. Can't hear you, Casey.
Oh yeah, you're transmitting, but we're not getting any audio from you. We can hear your Discord beep, though. I'm going to pause for 1 second, will you?
No, it's still not coming through.
Casey is lounged back at one of the tables as everyone is discussing what to do, and And he says, "What about Bog and Jorn and the rest of them that we left? Those two seemed pretty spry."
Didn't we
They're
send
all-
that group off back to Shepherd's End?
Oh, did we?
Yeah, so spry they're already gone.
Fair enough, yeah. Well, then I guess it's just you, and he kind of nods to Samsol.
Well, I mean, maybe we can find one or two other folks, agile folks, that might be able to travel with Samsol. That way, she doesn't have to go entirely on her own.
Well,
Yeah,
I
keeps
mean,
kind of.
do we need a messenger? What do we need the messengers for?
Well, if we have like a week or two heads up over at Shep's End, when like 100 people come, they can start to make preparations for them.
What about your little bird? She waves a hand at Esmond. Is it big enough to carry a little message?
Samsol's not that small.
Kind of bird.
Yeah, I could tie a very small, very not detailed note to Zephyrus. I just wouldn't be able. I just wouldn't know if the message gets delivered or not. Until I sense that Zephyrus has been uh, removed from this plane, or we happen to come across him again somewhere down the road if he can meet us at the Stone Tower.
I mean, I don't see how that's different from a regular two-legged messenger.
Well,
If
it's
he
a
got
lot.
killed along the way, we wouldn't know.
That's true, but the message itself would probably be a lot more detailed because people can talk to a messenger, but not the piece of paper.
I can also craft a I can connect two stones together and allow for a bit of communication between them. So uh, if we give one stone to someone that does leave for Shepherd's Inn and either give the other stone to somebody that stays here in Mirwood, or we keep it ourselves, then at least we can stay in communication with them. And once they get to Shepherd's End, or once they or if they can't make it for whatever reason, they can at least let us know, and we have a better idea of what it is that we might need to deal with.
Wait. You were able to do ascending, and you did not think to leave that at Shepherd's End when you all left?
It wasn't an option at the time.
Yeah, we've learned plenty of skills along the way, Ichtala.
All right. Well, how about we just combine those different ideas? If you can do the stones, we don't necessarily need to have information. Give one to Bramble and one to the messenger, and that way the two communities can talk. And then when we get back to Shep's End, we'll have plenty of ways to communicate.
Is there a limit how many times you can cast that stone spell? Why not do a couple of sets? You know, have Bramble carry two and we carry one, and then the other one goes off to ships with the survivors.
I can only have so many infusions up in a day. It it burns uh, uh, my own magical energy to keep them going, and
Oh,
my satchel, my bag of holding, is already one of them. And
no, fair enough. I was just asking. No worries.
well, no, I mean it's a fair question. The stones themselves, they could be used once a day, and it could deliver a message of 25 words, maybe. It's not a lot, but it'd be enough to you know let parties know a rough situation, or that everyone is okay.
Bigman Psalms says, "Wait, I've got something that can maybe help. Hold on." She kind of pulls her backpack off and goes rummaging around it, and she kind of half climbs into it before she pops out. And she has these two It's just two kind of small devices. They look like a little shoddily built, but she says, "I've got these. And they sound like they're kind of like what you're talking about. Here, look." And she kind of holds the one up where Esma can see it. See these two knobs down at the bottom? If you turn this one, it makes, see how it makes that line that kind of goes left and right? And then if you turn that one, it makes the line go up and down. And well, whatever you draw on this one, look, you can see it on this one. You can kind of, well, it was, I made it so you can draw stuff together, but I didn't make it. I just have them.
Well, wait, so you can, if you draw on one stone, it draws it on the other stone?
Yeah, and it doesn't seem to matter how far away you are. You just gotta turn those little knobs.
And I mean, that's kind of great, actually. That might suffice as communication for between you and Mirwood, actually.
Yeah, it's really slow, but I mean, it works.
Well, it's also unlimited, so I mean, it would also allow us to keep the sending stones for ourselves and maybe give you one so that we could communicate with you if we felt like it.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, speaking of that, Lou, listen, I don't want to just go off and go sit somewhere and not do anything. It sounds like you guys are trying to help and make stuff better. I want to go with you.
Yeah, Peach kind of looks Samsel up and down and says, sort of half to Samsel, half to the rest of the group, "Yeah, I mean, well, you were helping that necromancer, though, weren't you? And wasn't Vithedrin trying to track down that necromancer? I mean, what all... You're a good guy, right, Samsel? Just confirm for me, please. I know whose side we're supposed to be on here."
I mean, I didn't know it was like that. You didn't know till you told me.
Well,
I think it's fine. I mean, hopefully, Samsel seems sincere, right?
Yeah.
So, Samsel, I think that you can help, but you're helping in a different way. We need to try to help all these people like a community, because that's what we are, and you're going to be helping with that.
No, I know, but I just mean after I go deliver the message. I mean, I don't want to just sit around.
There'll be plenty of stuff you can probably do at Shep's End.
Yeah, you won't be just sitting around. There's going to be plenty that it still needs to get done, especially in preparation for an influx of new civilians coming from Mirwood.
I mean, what's wrong with her coming along?
yeah, I don't have any problem with her coming with us. Why does she have to be the one to deliver the message? Can't it just go along with Cogsworth there? She gestures to the Minotaur guy, whose name she forgot.
Well, he's not leaving because he would walk really slow. So most people are staying here. We just need an able-bodied messenger to go with us, and Samsel seems to be the best candidate we have. Samsel can come with us, but we need at least one or two people to be the messenger to go back to Shepsen.
Young lady, my name's Briggs. Briggs Bramblehorn.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Ava, why are you apologizing?
I don't know,
girl?
it just seemed appropriate.
Cogsworth is a different guy. He's a warforged.
So yeah, I guess we'll round up. Casey, can you just try to find some candidates, and then we'll just decide who's going to come with us, and along the way we'll figure out who's going to go back to Shep's End and who will help continue along with us. And we have the devices, we know how we'll stay in communication, and we'll try to leave. She looks at Esmond in a couple hours, today, tomorrow.
I don't know. Tomorrow at the latest. I really do want to get to that stone tower as soon as possible, especially with how quickly things are changing.
Let's just go today. We'll just go in a couple hours. We'll get
Yeah,
everyone settled.
why do we as long as everyone, all the survivors are ready to go, if we just pick out a couple of the younger, healthier ones, or the healthier ones anyway.
Samsel says,
Just go.
Wait, I didn't mean I can't deliver the message. I just mean like after I do it, can I just come meet up with you again?
Sure, that's fine. You can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we can throw together a rudimentary map for you to reference if you
I love maps.
and you can
Oh,
meet
no,
us there.
you can't do that. And she looks over up at Casey and then at, not Shalati, but looks back and is like, if she tries to come with us, other people are going to try to follow after her and meet up with us. And Shalati would be very upset if that happened.
What?
Oh, right.
You're not the only person who really likes to help, and I think if you tried to meet up with us, there would be other people who would try.
I could just not tell people I'm going to meet up with you. If you guys have fans or people like they like you a lot, but honestly you just don't really like them very much, but they're always on you around. Yeah, I just won't tell them.
No, that's not the. No, it's. I think to your point, Ava, it's wise to consider that, but I don't. We can't stop Samsel from wanting to help us, and we might need the help.
All right,
If she can deliver the message and avoid being followed, I don't think it'll be an issue.
The name of your
Okay.
group, by the way.
We don't have a name. We haven't had the need for a name.
Okay.
I guess.
Casey's group.
Shep. No, the Shep Sen senior class. I don't know why it would be named that. I don't know what a senior class is. This is myth times.
The senior citizens community.
Y'all kind of spoke at the same time. I didn't quite hear it. Why don't you guys take some time to think about it?
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna take some time while you're trying to find some other candidates to maybe travel with Samsel. I'm gonna check out the train and see if it's at all operational. Maybe reduce the travel time some for any other people here in Muirwood before. It won't take them all
Also,
the way to Shepherd's End, but it could take them part of the way.
now keep in mind the train in the other realm was not broken, along with the town. So if you need to jump over there, use the train there. Might be useful. Samsel, we need to hold auditions. 2, 3 people ready for adventure.
Yeah.
Can you round up everyone? Might be interested in that. Maybe make an announcement or something.
Yeah, sure. So we want people like they run really fast. They all looked old or like small.
It's really more about their attitude. If they're looking for adventure, they're perfect.
Okay, like they think they can. Okay, yeah, if they think they can run fast, even if they can't.
If they can run fast and they can hide well, I think that's probably the best.
Okay, yeah, I'll go find some. All right, see. He's running out the door.
All right. Go on, I guess, Esmond. Check that out, and Briggs, I'll talk with you about some of the stuff we did. After we lost people in Shep's End, and help you guys organize for whatever weeks before you meet up. We all meet up.
Right. I'll be over in the train yard if anyone needs me. And Desmond's gonna head over and inspect, see if he can find an operational train.
Yeah, Briggs says, all right, I'll go make sure everybody's ready. Gets up, the chair creaks, and
Casey leans back in his chair and is like, The shadow place always ended after the town was freed. Didn't really cover this part.
It's the exciting
Yeah.
part.
Also, Speaking of shadow plays, Casey, auditions? I don't think you audition to become a warrior. I think there's a different word for it.
I mean, maybe it's all the same though. Quick way to find who we're looking for.
Okay.
Either way, we need to get up to that tower.
What are you talking about that Charlotte would be mad about?
Oh,
I feel like I am missing something.
No, her brother's really enthusiastic, and it's hard to temper that spirit. And so if he...
Our bone?
Yev.
Oh, yeah.
Yevnik. Yevishnik. Peach says it correctly. She's not playing a game.
But he would actually follow Charlotte out here.
He would follow her pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, we had to, basically make him head of the town watch to keep him from following us out here. The kid's got a nose for adventure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go help Briggs, I guess, and hopefully Esmond will be back in the next couple hours, and we'll just head out unless anyone else has anything. I don't know if we're gonna find a train, but hopefully, if he does find it, that'd be awesome.
There are definitely trains in town. The question is, what shape are they in?
Yeah, that's I think what she was referring. Yeah, so she's gonna get her stuff and head out after Briggs to help with organizing, getting people settled in for a couple weeks.
Charlotte is going to go wander. Or not Charlotte. Istvan is going to go. She sort of just turns around and wanders off. Probably toward the direction of the train yard, but she's not really. Mostly due to the stack of timber that was there. But yeah, she's going to inspect the stack of timber there, and she's basically just looking for like good, clean, and I swear I don't mean this in a dirty way, dry hardwood.
Phrasing.
Phrasing
That made it so much better.
Quick question. Kabeth, are you playing tonight? You said you were tired. I couldn't quite. I didn't hear the end of that conversation. Yeah, she might be okay. Okay.
She is.
She said she might end up passing out early tonight.
Okay.
She might be asleep at this very moment.
At this very moment. Okay, sounds good. What's Case? Yeah. What are Casey and Peach doing?
Kind of the tail end of this conversation, Casey has begun constructing a crude sign on the table that he's sitting at that says auditions. And he sets it up in one corner of the tavern there, kind of sits back in his chair, kicks his feet up, and waits.
Yeah, honestly, can Peach just be helping with that? That sounds like the sort of thing that she would be
Do you
helping
have
with.
Do you have a clipboard?
I've put together a half dozen performances at the Wanderlust. With your shadow play, I can put on a thing. I can put it on with minimal effort and minimal supplies.
Where's glue? Macaroni?
If you got a clipboard, maybe a pencil behind the ear, you're in.
Sounds good. All right. Over the train station sometime later. Esmond. Oh, wait. We have Beth.
Oh, she's here.
I almost fell asleep. I had my mouth guarded, and then I realized I'd put laundry in the dryer, and then doing that woke me up. And I was like, I was downstairs listening to you, and I was like, I don't even have my phone to tell you that I'm still here.
I love that you were falling asleep and then you heard the voices of your friends being like, Kabeth, come play with us.
It's like
play
laying in
with
the bed,
us."
and I was like, shit, I have to put laundry in the dryer.
Every time. So
Hello.
what's so you see people kind of breaking off to do different things in preparation. What's Beth want to do?
I've actually been away from this game so long that I have no idea what the fuck is going on anymore. Like, even like the little bits you guys have given me, I'm like, okay. So we've left the place where we had that big battle. The last thing I did was the big battle. So I know nothing of what's happened in between. We've found a bunch of people. We're trying to send them home, and then we're going
That's
to the
basically
town.
it.
It's funny. That's kind of how Kabeth feels, and no one even acknowledged that it was strange that she had not been there or that she was there. Had she been there the whole time? It's really hard to know. But you see everyone kind of split off and go different directions, and you're left in sort of that state of wait, like you just woke up in the middle of class and no one's there.
Yeah, Kebeth has been kind of tired, trudging along behind everyone, just kind of going with the flow, and everybody just kind of vanishes. And she was in the middle of like rummaging through her pockets looking for food, and then she looks up and everyone's gone. And she's like, "Ah, shoot, I'm supposed to be doing something, aren't I?" And she's like, "Wait, I think I saw Ez run off. Something about trains. I'm gonna go look for him." And she'll try to go find you.
Okay. Sometime later at the train yard, Esmond, you climb up the ladder. You're kind of in the looks like the main wheelhouse, kind of up the train. Oh, it's not that it's beyond hope, but oh no, that needs to be replaced. That clearly got broken. Must have been an earthshake. Oh, this is rough. If only. And then you hear clop, clop, clop.
You see, like, Beth, like, kicking rocks, walking slowly, looking around. She looks up, she sees you, kind of waits.
You see Esmond leans against the railing, just looks down towards you, and just kind of sighs a sigh of relief. You have such impeccable timing. Sometimes, I swear.
Oh,
I could use a strong hand, please. I need some parts moved up here.
she just kind of like flexes her. She's like, That's what I'm good for." I mean, I'm building stuff too, and then I'm pretty good at kicking rocks. Surprisingly. Okay, yeah. What do you need? What do you need moved?
I don't know. There might be some rocks up here to kick. Jump up. Let's take a look.
She does so.
And as you guys kind of go through this train, it seems to be the one that's in potentially the best shape, at least the one that's in the train yard. You can roll smithing tools, tinkering tools. I'll give you some information based on what you get.
Do I get advantage for proficiency and stuff?
Well, proficiency lets you add your proficiency bonus. So you should just click the skill. It should add all that stuff in automatically.
Okay. I feel like I had something else, but if I'm not like using the tool.
Yeah, this is for internal knowledge. You're not actually doing anything right now. Nice. All right. Well, as the two of you work together, looking at the big parts, the little parts, and how's that gonna hold up? And yeah, you look through the train, and these are not steam locomotives. They are gnomish in their design. They involve a complex set of wheels that feed into other wheels, get wound up by the water mills. It's essentially really elaborate clockwork. And this train, after a few minutes of going back and forth over it, you come to the conclusion the two of you working together could repair it in about a month.
Swish.
That's not ideal.
That's good.
Yeah, this is pretty broken.
It was a long shot anyways, but oh man.
what if we don't repair? What if we just make something entirely new? Can we rig something easier up?
Cannibalize the train for its parts and try to make something? Well, with the rolls you guys already got there, we'll say looking at the parts, yeah, you could build something much smaller in about a week.
I mean, I know you want to get moving, and I certainly don't want to linger here any longer than needed.
No, but maybe we can draft some blueprints and give them to Mr. Bramblehorn. He's I don't know if he's a full clockwright, but he's a tinkerer at least, and there might be others in the town that we haven't met that could also build stuff. And maybe if we can draft some blueprints, they can uh, take apart the train and give themselves something that will ease transportation toward Shepherd's End at least part of the way.
Yeah, I mean, our train tracks weren't they kind of destroyed in the explosion a little bit? But at least it'll get them closer to town.
No, I mean, yeah, and there's after that massive earthshake the other day, that they might be more destroyed, even closer to town, but there's no way to know for sure. It just it it may potentially ease the burden of travel for all of them once they make their way towards Shepherd's End.
Beth rummages through her pockets, doesn't find what she's looking for, takes up her backpack, rummages through, pulls out a roll of paper, and is like, well, let's get started.
Nice. Remind me, where did Shalati, or not, where did Tala go?
You can tell me where Charlotte went. I don't know, but Ishtalan went kind of in the direction of the train yard because from her memories of a suspiciously similar alternate life that conveniently looks very much like everyone else's up to a certain point. There was a bunch of wood in the train yard, but she's primarily actually as she's on the way, she's actually primarily looking for like a blacksmith or a weaponsmith, a bowyer specifically.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, wait, in your memory, all this wood was neatly stacked. Why is it scattered all over the place? Some of it's burned. It's inconvenient. But yeah, it does look like there are a variety of different market shops kind of in this area. It looks like, as you kind of browse through some of what you find there, the things in this part of town seem to be one of your high volume utilitarian sorts of things. Stuff just a little bit more complex than or niche than the fabricators would have made, but not the artisanship that you would find, like, say, in the Travelers District. However, for most basic things that you're looking for, you pretty much can find it here in terms of regular supplies.
Yeah, she is not fussy with this, so. Bow, arrows, or materials to make them, if not.
Yeah, it looks like you do find some stuff that was maybe going to be sent to the warfront that was being made here, but hadn't been shipped yet. So yeah, your basic martial weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah. So digging through the stuff, she essentially eventually ends up unearthing a few, inspects some of the arrows, tries to see if she can find like blunt fouling arrows, mostly because from her memories the undead at least seem to not be as affected by piercing or by sharp tipped arrows.
I don't think you're going to find an arrow type that'll do bludgeoning damage, but yeah, it looks like everything here is pretty basic.
Well, she'll just grab that and maybe a few basic wood carving tools.
Sounds good. Meanwhile, potential contestants, auditionees, whatever you call them, they've arrived. They're lined up single file, hands behind their back. They're in front of Casey and Peach and the sign calling for auditions. Looks like Somsel's done a great job. There are 7 potential auditionees lined up. The oldest of them is 7 years old. However, they look fast. And Somsel has assured you they're each willing to die for the cause.
Who's first? Step forward.
Yeah, you can see a little a turtle girl kind of shuffles forward. She's going to adjust her, shifts around in her shell, blinks at you.
You fast, honey?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, introduce yourself. If you meet anyone on the road, you're going to have to introduce yourself in a formal fashion.
She runs away.
So they know who they...
Casey, you're scaring them.
Okay,
You
next.
gotta have them do something that they're good at first.
How
Get
can
that
I-
positive reinforcement.
If I don't know their name, how can I know if they're ready to go?
Well, don't
With
just bark at them. Don't give it a chance. Let me try this next one.
See, pretty surprisingly muscly. Looks like 5-year-old half-orc boy. Kind of steps forward. Become a pig.
So, what's your name, honey?
They call me Pig.
Oh, they call you Pig. All right, Pig. Can you read and write?
No.
I mean, yeah, that's not necessary.
Can you run really fast?
I got some of my letters.
How fast can you run?
Real fast. Fast and sure.
Somebody comes at you. What do you do?
Run around the building.
Yeah, he answered.
Go.
He answered. Oh,
Around the building. Go, run.
he goes run. Takes off. he's kind of middling when it comes to speed.
About 20 seconds later, Casey turns to Peach and says, You're keeping time, right?
Comes back around.
When he comes back, he comes back. And if anybody else is faster, we'll know they're faster because it'll be... Oh.
He didn't send anybody else to run. He just comes back by himself.
That was pretty fast.
Yeah, that was very fast, Pig.
Pig. Yeah. On this side. You're still a candidate.
Oh, stands over there.
Okay, next.
See a little dwarven boy. He's the smallest of all of them. Comes forward. Doe.
I'm sorry, Dove?
Doe.
Dough like bread?
Doe.
Dome?
Doe.
No like Nola grass?
Doe.
Go?
Like
Are you trying to go?
rising dough?
Doe.
I mean, if he wants to go, then I think we should let him.
His eyes start to get glassy. There's some tears forming at the bottom.
What kind of magic can you do? Best trick. Let's see it. Casey snaps his fingers and a ball of fire appears in his hand. I mean,
Peach smacks his hand. You're going to scare him.
Wait, look! And he reaches up and seems to focus really hard. Pulls a knife out of the air. Roll perception check.
You may pick a character sheet up.
Oh. Yeah, no, he was palming it.
very impressive. Dole over there with Pig.
Over there.
Okay, next.
Yeah, you go through this maybe a few more times. The only other viable potential contestant is it's a Tabaxi girl. She's kind of middle age between the others. Just kind of a fat, fluffy tail, short ears.
So 6.
Yep.
Oh my god, I feel bad employing these actual children.
I
But
get
also
it.
they're so cute.
This has nothing to do. Can you climb? Can you climb that wall over there?
Could. Wanted to.
Yeah, fair. Okay, over with the others.
Okay.
So,
It's like looks like you have 3 viable potential messengers.
Damsel, what do you think?
I mean, if we sent all of them, even if 2 of them died, one of them would probably still get there.
I mean, they'd be
I
going
think we
with
should
you,
send.
so.
I like the idea of sending all 3, but maybe we send everyone together so that they can support one another and protect one another, and not in case, if one gets eaten by wolves, 2 others get a chance. Everyone's better with an adventuring party.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, if we send the 4 of you,
Wait, well, yeah. We'll need a name for the group because you guys didn't have one. And that was kind of awkward.
no, agreed. So the 4 of you go.
Absolutely.
I mean, the 4 of you have to survive too, though. I mean, you have to look out for each other. You guys handle that? He speaks over to the group of 3 over on the side.
They all salute except for the Tabaxi.
Hey, you need to listen to Ms. Samsel too. She's the one in charge here.
Fine. Tabaxi salutes.
All right. We'll get some gear together. It'll be the 4 of you, yeah?
Yeah.
You guys need a name, though.
Pig raises his hand. Hey, do we get weapons like Verdict or Sheriff? Do we get spears?
How badly do you want a knife?
Yeah, a knife. Like a big knife. Like bigger than me.
Oh,
sure
maybe
we
we get you something protective too. Some protective layers.
Two,
Maybe a helmet.
2 knives?
Yeah, we'll round some stuff up. Make sure you guys are well prepared. In the meantime, you're gonna have to come up with a name. Samson will help you, yeah?
She looks at them, they all nod. They run off.
Casey turns to I think that went pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with their gumption. And, honestly, I'm looking at them and they're young, Casey, but they ain't that much younger than we are. They can run a message.
Yep. Hopefully Ez will get one of those trains running, huh?
Ideally. And everybody can get back and forth at least. Get a little bit of movement going. Get some sense of normalcy. I just wish people would stop flicking in and out of places. I feel like I haven't seen Salinger in days. But also like he didn't come with us.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure I just saw him the other day, huh?
No, I know that too. is this going to continue with us when we leave this place? Are we infected by it now until we fix whatever the rips in this place are? You know, are these kids going to be traveling, the four of them, and whatever's affecting us affects them too, and one of them just disappears? I just feel like the best we can do is send them out in a group. Let them support each other.
I mean, it's just one of the pitfalls of this type of magic. Ez will have it under control in no time. Not worried.
I feel like we put a lot of our hopes on Ez, and I know that he can do amazing things, but do you ever worry that the pressure might be a little much on him?
Yeah. I mean, he's always come through.
Yeah, until at one point, you know, there's going to be a point where he doesn't, Casey, and I'm not saying that this is that point, but we need to be ready, because if there's a point where that boy can't meet that expectation, it will break him so badly. We will need to repair him from cogs and wheels.
We're talking about Ez, right?
Yeah, I'm being metaphorical like.
Nah, I think Ez has more strength than you or he knows.
I'm not
He'll
saying he
get it under
doesn't
control.
stop.
We'll find Shalati. And we'll check out this tower. Kinda interested.
Speaking of Shalati, have you had a moment to speak to Ichla? The fact that she's just here now? Has anyone talked to her at any length?
I mean, I think just in the group, but yeah, it's pretty awesome, huh?
I mean, she must be traumatized, pulled out of her own world, and replacing Shalati suddenly in our lives, and all of us calling her by the wrong name, even, you know, mistaking her for somebody who in her life is gone. That's...
No, she didn't replace Shalati. She's just, it's just part of the hiccups of traveling like we did.
I don't know. I wish I had been able to be there with you all. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't even picture it. Slipping through doors like that.
Yeah, I mean, we can show you. We can show you the formula. It's pretty straightforward.
You know what? I was always
Anyways.
real good at copying down the notes. You can show me just about anything.
Yeah. We should find some stuff for the adventuring party.
Absolutely, yeah. Peach would go off and help do this.
Out in the square, Ava, you're with Briggs Bramblehorn. You see Digsman Somsel and three children, go sprinting out from the Shackleboard Tavern. Over by the train yard, you see Esmond, Beth, looks like fiddling with some of the gears. You spot Ishalon for a moment, going through some supplies, coming out with what looks like is it a longbow? Briggs Bramblehorn, with a stick in his hand, kind of draws through the dirt and says, "All right, well, if the two of you search that part of the town, there's bound to be something in those taverns and maybe that warehouse there, and we all need enough food to last here for a while more. Looks over to you. What do you think?
I think. Oh, is she in front of other people or just him?
Him and a bunch of they're like mostly old people, not quick moving, but capable enough to move around Merwood.
Okay. A little uncomfortable, but she's still. I think sounds like a good idea, but and unless you've already taken stock, one of the things that we learned from the early days about after our town lost a lot of people, one of the things I learned, I guess, we have to take account of who we have and what we have on hand, and from there you start building on top of it. So just making sure that we have a good list of who's present and some basic information and the kind of things that everybody already has it's surprisingly useful because it helps to prevent it just helps a lot to do that as sort of a first step. So I think before anything else, that would be one of the first things to do. And then after that, this that you're talking about seems really smart and really reasonable, I think.
That's a good idea. I'll put together a census of who we got here. As far as food goes, we got a pretty good idea because it's been our main concern. I'd say, we have right now, on the outside, 5 days left, I think, of food, with everyone eating. We could stretch that out a little bit.
Well, of the town that you've been in, are there parts of it that you know? I guess it's hard to estimate probably, but if you had to take a stab at it, what would you say, and how much food do you think might be left? Like, just overall.
I don't know, but a lot more than we got, a lot more than we have now. As far as I know, the undead, they weren't eating much and enjoyed the food, and mostly people stopped eating real quick. A lot of the stuff would have gone bad, but I know there's some preserve jars, things like that. If I had to estimate based on what we've scavenged so far in the places we've been, on the outside, 2-3 months.
Okay. That should be plenty. I think that scavenging and doing what you can to try to collect as much as possible to have things over the next, couple weeks or so makes sense. If at some point we don't come back, hopefully we'll have ways of communicating, and you'll by then have ways of communicating with Shep's End. But don't wait until the last minute, or if something happens and we get delayed, don't wait until 2 or 3 months before you try to make the journey. Just try to weigh, I was going to say how long winter's going to last, but she kind of looks at the never setting sun. I guess maybe that's not something you can consider. Anyway, is there any place around that does grow berries or small gardens or anything that could be used to supplement food over the next, couple months?
There's a couple small window gardens here and there we saw, but they all look dried up. And you can find some roots and berries in the forest, but it's been so cold I've never seen them growing in the winter. All I'd say is this. We can stay here as long as we can, but we don't hear from you. I think when we got about 3 weeks left of food, just to be safe. Shepherd's Inn, the only place anyone mentioned safe. We don't have any idea what it's like in the West, so once it gets down to where we're worried about going hungry, I'll take the group to Shepherd's End.
That's fair. Yeah, you may not even have to wait that long, because, well, that's fine. Yeah, that's smart, actually. Wait until you can't, and then make the trip together to be safe. And, yeah, okay, I think you guys, I mean, from what all you've been through, you guys know obviously how to take care of yourselves, especially around here, so I'm sure everybody's gonna be fine.
A lot of brave folk ain't around anymore to make sure we were here, so best we can do is stay alive for them.
That's true. Be smart about the bodies too. I don't know if there's still a contagious element to a lot of them, but there's a lot of bad sickness that seems to linger around corpses as they start to. I mean, obviously the smell's going to keep you away or whatever, but just try to be smart about it, and maybe don't, if you can avoid putting them in the ground or something. I don't know.
See a couple of the people, they kind of look at each other uneasily, and Briggs kind of frowns at that, and he says, are you telling... Wait, you mean there's a chance that this ain't over? That the dead could be coming back? Again?
No, I don't think that that's the case. I'm pretty sure it's gone. I meant, there's other sicknesses that can be on a body that's not a magical sickness, or if that's what it was. That part of it, I think, is past. I just don't want people to get sick trying to do stuff, because if you're all together in this group in these conditions, if people get sick, it can spread pretty quick. So I'm just trying to say, be smart about that if you can.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah, guys.
Well, if anyone needs anything before we head out, let me know. I think you guys are great and good. I think you're gonna be good. Yeah, we'll see you probably back in hopefully a couple weeks, or maybe sooner.
Hey, dog.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's something you want to hear, but yeah, I dealt with him enough to know your dad would have been real proud of what you're doing.
Yeah. She just nods and sort of walks away.
Before too long, I think all of you have gathered back in the Shackleboard Tavern. Your blueprints are done. As they're coming back in, what's Araya doing?
He's been helping some of the folk left behind mend blankets into bedrolls for the long trek. Deep in heaps of scraps of this and that, blankets and curtains and whatnot, trying to make the best of it for everyone who's been hunkered down for so long.
You're not sure how it got there, but as you come back into the tavern, there is a mummy.
They're vulnerable to fire.
And like a hand kind of emerges from out the pile, like gesturing to someone close by, and they hand her a pair of like scissors.
So everyone's back in the tavern together.
As any luck, Brains? Yeah.
Esmond is making more studying, more notes in his own journals. And he, you kind of catch him off guard, and he just, oh, no. Well, technically, yes. It would take either a month to repair the only functioning train, or if we gut it and scrap it for parts, we could rebuild it into something a bit smaller, but that will take a week. So Beth and I have drafted up what those potential blueprints could look like, and we're going to provide those to Mr. Bramblehorn before we left.
Nice. Yeah, no. Peach and I put together a messenger party to go to Shepherd's End and deliver a message, so we're all set, ready to go to Taria.
I guess. Does anyone did we need to stay any longer for anything else? Does anyone need to do anything before we leave Muirwood?
All set.
I just have to check the temple before we go, but we can hit that up on the way out. I left a note as an experiment.
Okay, yeah, we can stop by there on our way out. Let's just swing by, see Mr. Bramblehorn, so we can drop off these blueprints and just kind of give him a quick rundown, I guess. So I guess we all leave to go to start making our way out. Find Bramblehorn first.
Yeah, Esmond, you outside under the snow, just coming down a little heavier today. Yeah, you come across Briggs, easy to make out, big silhouette, big hat, big horns, talking to some of the older folk as you approach. He kind of glances your way and says, "Ah, clock right."
Sir, there is Kibeth and I. We looked at the train yard. There is one train that could potentially function. It would take roughly, we estimate, a month to repair, or and he pulls out the uh, drafted blueprints that he and Kibeth had drawn together and hands it over to him. Or if you got it for parts, you could potentially build a smaller craft that it would fit less people, but would be could be built in roughly a week, give or take.
Hmm. Those are good ideas. Never thought about like in the actual of that. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, just to clarify, while there was something happened to the tracks near Shepherd's End, but beyond that, after that last earthshake a few days ago, there could potentially be more ruins along the tracks that prevents further travel. So if you do end up uh, taking the train or this new device, take the tracks, it would only get you part of the way there, but it would reduce some travel time if nothing else.
Hmm. I guess part way is better than nothing. All right. Yeah, I get work on this. Got some old timers that used to swing a hammer. Maybe they can help out.
Okay, great. In the meantime, the rest of us are heading out, I think. So Samsel will stay in communication with you as much as she can, and I guess next time we see you, it'll either be when we swing back by Marewood, or hopefully we see you in Shep's End.
All right. Well, Queen's grace to you, and you be careful out there. We'll be waiting for you here or there, one or the other.
Out of character, which stone does he have?
Uh, he has the Samsel stone, the etch and sketch stone.
Good, good. As they start to depart, I think Ava recognizes that there are some kids that are following along with them in a group, and for an unusually long period of time.
Was their group going with you guys on the outset?
I thought we were all traveling together till the halfway point, and then
Okay.
they're continuing on to the rest of Shepherd's End, because we're headed the same direction, right?
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be the halfway point, but it would be at least you get a day together, probably.
Got it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you see Samsel and 3 young children, all between the ages of 5 and 7. You see, they're like whispering together, yeah, talking about something important. No, that's dumb. Read something sounds cool.
Casey, where's the group of messengers?
Right there.
Ha. She looks around at everyone else with the, am I crazy?
For the
Oh, we should
first time,
introduce ourselves.
for the first time, Esmond turns around and just like wide eyes at the realization.
Yeah, these are the brave messengers who were the only volunteers for the job. And despite the fact that they may be small in stature and young in age, they will be capable of this job. It's just delivering a message.
Hard to spot. You didn't see him.
They've proven themselves brave and capable and unafraid of fire.
This is all you, Esmond. I'm not stepping. I'm not doing this.
Doc, when did you start going on house calls?
We can't send children. We can't send literal children on this.
They're gonna have to go there anyway, as they might as well carry the message with them. Ultimately, everybody's going to Ship's End, and these, if they go along with Samsel, they will be the quickest to get there, and they'll carry the message and be to Ship's End faster than the rest of the group. Probably safer too.
Let's
I know it's
Dole
not
be with
ideal,
them.
but
And Samsel.
You glance over, you see Dole pulls a knife out of the air.
I know it's not ideal, Esmond, but we can't afford to discourage them right now. They are literally all we've got to do this job.
Somewhat out of character. Are their tiny, undeveloped bodies even large enough to carry a week's worth of food to make it from one point to the other?
One of them is an orc who is, like, in my mind, based on my 4-year-old.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I mean, they don't eat as much.
That's true. That's true.
Look at scales.
Well,
The water, because water weighs like 5 pounds by itself for a.
Well, none of you are carrying a week's worth of water. Like.
Oh, okay.
Also, there's a ton of snow.
yeah, there's a ton of snow.
All right.
I mean, hopefully they know not to eat snow and just to melt it first.
To be fair, Samsel is a full adult. Like, Samsel's like your age.
Oh yeah, Samsel, I get. I was
We
talking
all
about
believe
her
in
companions.
Samsel.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the
they're
5 to
going with
7-year-olds.
They are going with her.
I think that out of every one of the survivors, they're the ones going most immediately to safety. They just happen to be delivering a message on the way.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. I just, yep.
No,
Yep.
it's scary, and we're asking a lot of the least of us.
I mean, they have been trapped in a hellhole besieged city with undead all around. Do you not think that finally being able to go somewhere in open space and have some kind of ability to make a choice would make a huge difference to them?
Okay. All right. No, you all.
At that point, they all come running up to you. And Samsel says, all right, we figured it out. We figured out our name.
All right.
I'm all ears.
Yeah. So, yeah, back in Northgate, there's this really cool group of kids, so we use that name because I don't think they're here. And they all held up their hands as though they're holding, like, strings up above. Puppet Gang!
Oh my god.
Puppet gang.
Can you call us the puppeteers? Eh?
You just gotta be real careful where you throw those signs up at. Some dangerous neighborhoods here in Locke.
Where?
Strings attached.
Where's Northgate?
Oh, that's the place that I'm from.
Okay. Well, Puppet Gates. I guess we
Oh no, puppet gang, puppet gang.
Puppet
Puppy
Gang.
gang. Puppy gang.
Oh, puppet gang.
Puppet Gang. We're well. Okay. We head out now. We're gonna make a stop by the Temple of Brunhilde real fast, and then we're gonna, oh boy, hit the road, I guess.
Set out from the Checkerboard Tavern, leaving behind the warm baths for the last time. At least for now. Before too long, you've reached the ruins of the Temple of Brunhilde, a place where some of you, briefly in another place, had seen it once in its former glory.
Okay, I just sort of skips through the door. Oh, leave me a moment.
So,
Just go searching for the note that she left that might or may not still exist, since so many people have shifted in and out of this dimension.
yeah, just to make sure that I'm remembering correctly, you left this note while you were in the other Muirwood, is that right? Or did you leave it when you were in the space between?
When we were in the other one, where there was the temple keeper, is probably not going to be there. There is a
Yeah, I think.
there is also a Casey note that existed in our dimension. I've left a lot of notes in this place. So there was one under the rubble of the other dimension, and then a Casey note when he was missing after Sal had been missing.
Yeah. Okay. So you slide the rock away where you had hidden the note, or presumably no one would find it. But there's no note either. Either it was never
Another
here.
dimension, surely.
Mm-hmm. But the note you left a note for Casey in this reality, right?
Yes.
Casey, secretly roll me a perception check.
Oh. Wait, how do I do that? No, I got it.
Just sent it in.
You said perception?
Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah, so you look for the note you left for Casey. It's not there. Somebody took it.
Oh, not even the paper. Oh, well, this doesn't... Somebody's been messing with my experiments. She does light a small of incense inside the temple, offering a small prayer to Brunhilde and thank her for her blessings, and then skedaddles. It was useless, honestly. Nothing. Oh wow, I don't know what it means, but
Samsa says, "What are you doing?"
I was just offering a prayer of thanks to Brunhilde. She's obviously favored our expedition quite greatly, and it is not unnoticed.
Oh, you worship what? That's cool.
I worship the maiden. I don't know if you've heard of her out here in Rome.
Oh no.
I've never heard of it.
No. Well.
Oh god, no.
I'm super happy to spiel, or we can make that like she answers questions when asked, kind of a thing.
Sure, on that conversation, we just have Samsel and Array are walking together, and she's very curious. You can tell her all about it.
Ava's holding her hands over the children's ears so as not for them to be polluted by this religious speak.
It's not even like proselytizing. It's like
Well, my order, we live in service and offer healing to strangers, but also a place of respite up in the mountains. It's really a rather peaceful temple.
Wow, and the maiden knows like all of the gods. That's cool.
Yes. So it's more that she's kind of like a very like a neutral god that provides like service, healing, support, and everyone deserves healing and support regardless of the balance of their good and bad deeds.
Really? Oh, wait. So you're nice even to mean people?
Isn't that the best way to make people less mean, though?
Oh, that's kind of true.
Oh, Rhea's selling herself short, though. Ask her about the giant jelly chicken that she saved Shepherd's End from.
That was such a long time ago. I really think it was more of a group effort.
Or your town. Now she purified it with the zombie presence. No maiden required. It was all her,
that
guys.
was
All her.
significantly not me. No, that was a ritual. That was a sacred ritual of cleansing the waters. It was very specifically.
I mean, I'm interested in all of it, and Eisentel. Well, there are certain there are paragons that everyone worships, and then in your hung, I mean, there's other things, and well, I've seen stuff deep under the ground I never even heard of before. And,
I've seen stuff deep under the ground too.
What? I love the ground.
No. Yes.
Okay, and the two of them kind of fall off into chattering about
deep talk, deep conversations.
I have Zephyrus scouting ahead as a precaution.
And yeah, so as you guys begin your journey out from Muirwood, knowing that you'll split at probably the end of the day between Shepherd's End, and then you'll be trekking through the forest itself to reach the stone tower. Are there any special preparations that you want to make?
Reflect.
I think over the course of that day, Casey would lay traps and tests for the puppet gang. You know, moving ahead, setting up random tripwires, balls of fire that'll come down, different things that will test their perception and reflexes.
All right.
If I
As they
find any of
travel.
these, I un them. If I see them, I un them.
All right. Well, Casey, tell us about the first trap.
Yeah.
They each have 1 hit point. Please be careful.
So, first trap, simply a section of woods up ahead, tripwires through 3 or 4 of the trees that are somewhat spaced apart. And, on the opposite side of the tripwire, mud.
And I will say it is probably a little strange. Casey doesn't usually volunteer to scout ahead, but he did in this case. Ishtalan.
I think if she spots any of these traps, she's going to pull one of the kids aside. She is actually going to pull all the kids aside.
Well, hold on. Let's not do the if, because we'll roll to see if you notice.
Yeah.
Do perception.
All right, so let me get a perception check from people who would be at maybe the front of the pack. And let me get this deception from Casey. Or, yeah. Yeah, I think deception makes sense for traps.
Do I get advantage on this? Are we currently in wilderness?
We are in the wilderness.
I said that I was going to disarm traps. Araya is too engrossed.
Sumsla's fully distracted you.
100%.
What are these rolls? Get out of here, you people.
I stole the awful roll.
Okay. Yeah. So Ishtalan,
Mm.
as you're moving about, you see young Dole, the dwarven boy, able to produce knives with his very thoughts. You see him walking along in his little trousers. You see him heading right for a tripwire.
Puts a hand out on his shoulder to stop him.
Hmm?
And then looks for the other kids and then gestures them over.
Yeah, they all come running.
She basically points in that area and says, "Look very closely. What do you see there?" And essentially, she's just going to like test them to see if they can actually recognize it, and if not, she uses a teaching moment to be like, "These are signs you look for," and like messed in a way.
Yeah.
You have to keep a sharp eye out.
Yeah, at first none of them see them, but after you point it out, oh. Yeah, and then Pig's like, yeah, we would have fallen right in the mud.
And that will make you cold, and you don't want to be cold when it is winter.
And it could be full of leeches.
Exactly. And then they will suck your blood, and then you will die, and that's not fun, so.
Alright, we're gonna keep out for that for tripwires now.
Maybe just continue keeping an eye out, and if you see anything, shout and tell me, and I'm going to be watching to see if you will recognize anything else.
Some hours later, on the road, Casey, what's the second trap?
In a section of the path that we're traveling, a couple of the trees have kind of leaned against some others under the weight of the snow. And as the group approaches, the dirt underneath one of the leaning trees begins to shift and loosen, causing that tree to shake loose.
Get a perception check.
This happens a bit in front of the group, but, close enough to be.
Okay, I see. So, okay, not a hidden thing, just starts to happen. Okay, yeah, it looks as though the tree starts to shift and it starts to list. Looks like none of the kids have really, they hear the sound, they look around, they don't see what's happening in time. It's going to fall and just crush one of the kids.
Ava lets this happen as a learning moment. I'm joking. No.
Wait, I thought this was happening in front of?
Yeah, you can all see this happening. None of you are blind to this happening. You see the tree starting to fall. It's going to smash. It's going to smash Fila, the tabaxi girl.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was in front of everyone, including the kid.
There's an invisible force that just jerks that child backwards.
Okay, yeah.
In a sanctuary bubble. Unless my 3 still stands, and then...
Everyone sees this one, yeah. So the kid goes stumbling back for some unknown reason, and the tree smashes into the ground. You see all the kids jump to the ready, looking around. What? Was that a trap?
One goes up to inspect it.
Casey, what does she find?
I mean, the dirt where that tree was leaning just kind of, gave way. Yeah.
Roll a nature check, Ishtalan. It's hard to tell. This could have been natural, but there's some strange things going on.
Samsel, you gotta watch after these guys. Ava chides.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, alright, we'll watch out for trees. We'll watch out for trip lines. Yeah, okay.
Eternal vigilance.
As you move on, some hours later. Casey, what's the third trap of the day?
Yeah, as they move ahead, they notice a small campfire in the distance.
One of the kids, Pig, points. Hey, look, there's a fire. Maybe there's other people. He goes running that direction.
Samsel?
No, wait, no.
Oh, Samson. Hey, wait. That could be dangerous. Pig comes, stops.
Oh, the whole people are safe.
Wait. We gotta investigate quietly, stealthy-like. Split up. We'll approach it from different sides. If you see anything dangerous, make a sound like a bird. And the kids go splitting off to the forest.
I think as they approach the perimeter of the campfire, they see 3 kind of tufts of sticks and branches, boughs, piled in 3 separate spots around the campfire, but no one within sight.
Everybody roll a perception check. Or anyone who's watching, roll a perception check. Ooh, all right. Yeah, Echelon for sure. You see the kids sneaking about in the brush. Ava, you spot 2 of them, but you're not able to find that tabaxi girl. And you see the 3 of them, or the 4 of them, I guess, begin to converge. They're whispering amongst each other. You see Samsel kind of pull her backpack around, kind of fish something out of it. You see them crowding and talking.
For the ones she can see, Ava cast less.
I was looking around for Casey.
Oh wait, I don't know if
I've not been with him all day, right?
Yeah, I don't have that spell prepared. I can't do that. Sorry. I cast Bane.
Alright, you see one of the kids, you see Dole, the dwarf boy, he comes running back to you. He's, hey. I'm reporting in.
Go ahead.
There are bog people. 3 bog people at the camp. Samsel is gonna... They're showing... Well, you just watch. You see Samsel and Pig talking. Samsel kind of offers this kind of weird looking... So it's like a rod to a Pig. And he takes it and he kind of points it at the camp. And there's a mote of orange that fires off and explodes, consuming the camp in flames. These leaves can catch on fire. And he kind of stumbles back a little bit and drops on his butt. Samsel pauses for a minute and then cheers. Yeah!
So the
real bog people.
Yeah, as this explosion of fire occurs, the 3 piles of boughs and sticks catch fire and smoke and ash, and they soon collapse into a pit that was hidden beneath each of the piles of fire, and you hear coughing emanating from one of the pits. As Casey leaps up out of one of the pits.
The kids converge on you and start beating you with sticks.
Get him!
Casey dodges and tosses kids into the snow.
Before too long, they
Yeah, I
realize
think that'd be fine.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that was a test, wasn't it?
And you passed as he tosses the last kid off of him, sliding into the snow. Well done.
Man, this has been rough. There's been wires, there's been tripwires, and there's been trees that just fall down out of nowhere, and there's been bog people. And this is a dangerous mission.
You guys handled it well. Puppet gang. I have no doubt.
Puppet gang.
Casey wipes a bit of soot off of his face. Yeah. We're getting close to where we parted ways.
And before too much longer, well, actually, as you guys are kind of departing, roll a nature check or perception check, your choice. All right.
Oh, this is so
I'm
good.
not usually this bad.
So we'll get it out now.
Yeah, Ishlan, as you guys are getting ready to move on your way, you realize, oh wait, because of all the snow, it hasn't really rained in a while. That fire is going to spread through all the dry twigs and.
Is this
Wait,
gonna
is
cause a
it
fire?
worse or something? What? Yeah.
Say that again.
Or actually, I guess Islam would actually, and then pull out a blanket, or her sleeping blanket normally. That's like it's rolled up on the bottom of her backpack and starts like putting it down and like trying to beat out the fire.
Yeah, it doesn't take too long. And some of the kids join in and help and put out the dangerous flames.
She will try to insert a lesson about fire safety.
Before too long.
Remember, Smokey the Owl Bear would not do this.
Yes. Smokey the Owl Bear. Before too long, you guys have come to the end of the long first day. The sun's still on the horizon. Night is only 3 hours now, but you're weary enough to set up camp. And so far, you've not encountered anything truly dangerous aside from maybe what you set in your own path. The kids are grouped together, going over their fire safety rules.
It's nice to be on the road and not have so many scary things lurking in the woods.
How much farther to the tower?
As you said, it's like 5 more days or so?
Probably 6.
For the entire time that they've been walking, as little as he can actually get done, Esmond has been just taking notes in his own journal, like looking at everything that he has and just studying over all that. Speaks up. 5, 6 days, most likely 6. It's roughly full week out, give or take, depending on if we get rushed or not. Probably 6 more days.
Well, I guess this is a good place as any to turn in for the night. Who wants the first shift? And she looks over at the kids, who you imagine are almost passed out.
I can keep watch pretty much the whole time if you need me to. If anything comes up, I'll wake you.
Hooray, you don't need to rest?
Not if I'm like sitting. No.
What?
Yeah. The goddess has blessed me.
I actually, before we break to sleep and rest and everything, looks out to see where Samson and the kids are and kind of like motion, like kind of steps away from them. I kind of wanted to give you all a brief rundown on what I found, just so we're all kind of on the same page. So basically, the notes that you guys, and he motions to Araya and Casey. The notes that you guys found in Megrun's shop, incredibly dense, but also incomplete. Part of the reason that we're going towards the Stone Temple is because I believe the other half of the notes of the correspondence between Megrun and whoever lived at the Tower Blue, I think, as Mr. Bramblehorn referred to him as, they were. The notes are incredibly in depth and this discuss everything that we've been dealing with recently, from the dimension, the cascading destruction of dimensions, the warping from one reality to another. And he pulls out the papers and like shifts through to find a specific one or a few specific pages. There's the other half of the notes will or the letters will have more details, but from what I've been able to piece together here so far is that Queen Lilith has something in her possession, or she did, or in the city of Lux, supposedly in Queen Lilith's possession is an item, a device, referred to here as memento, the memento, uh, and it's all incomplete. But basically, when the device was first crafted, it I don't know why, but it essentially shattered realities and destroyed adjacent dimensions, realities to our own, uh, and it was it was a device that was originally built by somebody, that I don't know who specifically, but it was perfected and used to stop the destruction of realities by Lux No More.
Remind me who all that is. I didn't pay attention to Gilkane's lessons. Come on, Ez.
Peach, the Kingdom of Lux.
Oh, I thought it was Lux Like Light.
No, I mean, I'm sure there was something uh, you know, to joke about with, but no. This memento device was built and destroyed realities, but then it was perfected and the realities were stopped by the Lux No More. If we can find this thing, we it if we're dealing with all this now because realities, with realities crashing on us now all of a sudden, the device might not be working, or could have something to do with the tower falling, and that could in turn have affected the memento device. But either way, there is something that's designed to stop all of this.
Does seem strangely convenient that this thing exists. If the queen has it, then why are they not using it?
I
She
don't
was around when all this happened, right?
Seems like
Biggest thing?
someone had a sense of the future.
I have no idea. There's no sense of like a time span or dates, or like nothing that dates specifically to the construction or the repair of the memento. Just that that Lux No More was involved with it somehow, and so that would at least date it back almost 1,000 years.
Right, and she's supposed to be that old. I thought.
I I don't know. But that's why we have to get to the stone tower. If there are more details on this device, it, maybe it's something that we can build and replicate ourselves, or maybe we can repair the teleportation circle in Mirwood and take ourselves to the city of Lux, find Queen Lilith, and figure out what's happening. But there
And
aren't enough details here.
if these realities are repaired, then what? What happens to Shalati?
I don't know, but like I was saying, there are also notes in here about not just the destruction of dimensions, but shifting shifting realities, warping from one reality or dimension to another. If we can get to the stone tower, there might not just be notes or more details on the memento. There could potentially be more notes, more details on how to direct travel in between these dimensions.
Let me have everybody roll a history check. You can have advantage if you were a good student.
I feel like
Do I
I'd
do
only have
disadvantage?
an
That was the
advantage.
opposite.
Yeah, I was going to say disadvantage.
Yeah, you can do disadvantage if you're a lazy student.
If it's history involving religions, yes.
Would it involve religion? Yeah, that's reasonable. You could do religion instead of history.
Natural 20 for 28 total.
Pete got an 8.
Okay. We'll say Esmond, maybe it occurs to you first, amusingly. The queen is neither a frost elf like Salois nor a deepwood elf like Miranda. She is supposedly the last high elf. Not only is she old, she will never die. She will live forever unless something kills her.
That's common historical knowledge.
Say it's in, I don't know if I'd call it common knowledge. You rolled a natural 20.
Uh, um, right. No, that's Ishlan, that's actually a good point about the queen. She is the last high elf. She's essentially immortal unless something actively kills her. So yeah, I mean, what? Yeah, it's entirely feasible that she was around uh, uh, during the time at which this device was crafted.
There's that out of character question about what is known. Isn't it part of the common history that she was like co-regnants with Lux, or like was the lover and so was definitely around at the time?
Potentially. I mean, you guys live on the outskirts of the kingdom and you learn that stuff as kids. I'm just leaving room for like, oh, you didn't pay attention so that you guys can talk about it.
So, all right. We have to get to the other side to get the notes. And if you get the other notes, you think maybe, Esmond, you can put something together that might help to maybe or find something that might stop some of this stuff. And there may also be other notes about moving through doors intentionally that we could maybe figure out how to use so we could get Shalati back.
I mean, yeah, I mean, uh, we've already been given a formula so that I can finagle the door jam, my door jam device to essentially bubble and warp us to another dimension. What we're lacking is a means of directing or steering how it is that we warp. So if I can find more details, um, we might be able to return to where we lost Shalati and bring her back.
You
And
don't
then
you don't know if it
following
was the
that,
place. Do you remember where you last saw her, do you know if it was the place between or the Pale Lands?
I,
Sorry, I think you were studying while I was telling Ava this, but the Pale Lands is the mostly empty place. And then the place between is like all the mirrored shards of other worlds that are not really actually existing. They just kind of copy.
I'm going to be fully honest. I was focused on the door jam device and getting it to work and not explode in our faces. Uh, dimension hopping for the very first time. I don't know where we lose her.
I guess I'll just have to go back to all of them.
We warped to 4 or 5 places, I think. Do you know where we lost her at?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It was the first jump.
So it was
Your
right
friend
after
Harold?
we left Muirwood.
Yeah, I had her hand, and we jumped, and she wasn't there on the other side.
Well, either way, doing uh, either way, I I I feel very positive that there is something more at the stone tower that will be able to point us in in the direction that allows us to find Shalati again, and even beyond that, potentially stopping all of this. Oh, jeez, we have.
The letters, yeah, the letters that you read, they only allude to some of the things that Magrin and whoever this B is were discussing. It's a conversation between two people who already know what they're talking about in the background, so it's hard to pull details from it, but you have a very strong sense that based on what's in the letters, there must be research or something at that tower that could be useful.
I'm positive that there's something at the stone tower, something that will allow us to find Shalati to maybe stop this. Oh, we
Didn't
have
doubt, I did not doubt that when you said it the first time and hustled us all out of the city, but it's good to know some more details.
sorry, I know it was a lot all of a sudden. I just the sooner that we start heading that direction, the less it reduces our chances of us being pulled elsewhere again. And I'm just now realizing that we have potentially inadvertently become the vanguard of reality of all realities on on this. I need to sit down, and Esmond's gonna go find
I
a
mean,
place to sit.
you don't need to big ourselves up that much.
I mean, he's not wrong.
We need a group name, like Casey's crew.
Vanguard of Realities. I thought that's what Ez just said.
You guys could join the puppet. You guys could join the puppet gang. You
The
really
puppy gang? I would. Can I be like honorary puppy?
The puppet gang presents the vanguards of reality.
What about just, I mean, it's a bit of a mouthful. What about just the vanguards?
Yeah, I'm already a part goat. I can't be a puppy too. That would be very confusing. So the Vanguard sounds better.
Oh, we're all walkers.
Ooh. But that implies that we're just going to keep doing it when I think we're trying to put a stop to all of it. So the world not stop the walking the world.
Well, it should be something personal to you. Yeah, it shouldn't just be your job. Like something that really says who you are. Like Puppet Gang.
Like Puppy Gang?
EastEnders?
No, let's stick with the Vanguards of Reality. Vanguards for short, if we gotta choose.
I mean, all of us are battle hardened. Just, roll over any opponent that faces us. We could be the Rolling Stones.
You could open for the Puppet Gang.
Puppet Gang.
What are we opening for you?
Oh, like before Shadow plays.
More traps?
Ooh.
Oh. Wait.
Guardians of Reality.
At this point, all the kids have just fallen asleep in the middle of what they're doing, but Sam's still awake.
Somsel, you may have to look out for feathered dinosaur creatures when you get closer to.
What?
I mean, we closed up, I think, most of the portals. Maybe not. It's just something to look out for. Wolves, feathered dinosaur creatures.
Okay, that's weird.
One that has, it's got different coloration. It's sort of more... And then she describes Poppy's coloration, which I forget what it is. But it mentions if you see one like that, that's not for shooting.
Okay. And that's like the same colors as Salinger.
Could I? If you see Salazar, also tell him, hey.
Oh, yeah, wait, no, isn't he right? Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah.
He's going to meet up with us later.
Okay, well, geez, I don't usually stay up this late. Look at that. And Samsel kind of lifts her head, and yeah, it's also true you guys don't usually stay up quite so late. The sun's actually set for the very short evening. You can see, I guess these winter months that may never end. You can see all of the wide myriad of stars and the cracks through the sky, bits of green light sort of sifting down through the shattered sky. You can make out the silhouette of the tower, possibly tall, far in the north.
Everyone sleep. I think it's going to be another long day tomorrow. I am happy to stay up to take the first watch.
Esmond does not respond. He is doing work, but will either take watch or sleep, whichever, wherever anyone needs him.
Each of you you may have split off or near the campfires to settle down to sleep. There's you probably have 2 or 3 small campfires burning just because there's so many of you, and there's a light bed of snow. You'd be able to set up your bed rolls or small tents if you have them. Some of you may still be awake, but there's a moment where Ishtalan, Peach, The two of you are on watch together. Araya is still awake, of course, but the two of you are keeping an eye on the southern part of the camp.
I think Peach would kind of, if Ichlan is on watch to begin with, Peach would sort of come up and she'd go, "Here, you doing all right with gear and all? It's pretty cold. I got some extra stuff in the bag if you need it. I usually kind of rely on Salinger for a bit of windbreak, but I haven't seen him in a moment or two, so I figure maybe you might get cold too."
Oh. And she kind of side glances over as Peach comes up and strokes her shoulder. She, probably during her rummaging, she also ended up finding some other clothes in around the train depot. So she says, "Thank you, but I found some things that I think will do." Well, also, I had a little bit of a look at, I suppose this was all of Lati's stuff. And she sort of toes the backpack that was Lati's. She didn't, I mean, she had a lot. Honestly, she must have been very strong because I don't know how she actually kept up with all of it. But well, I've got the blanket, got some fire. Apparently, she has this really cool scimitar, and then she holds up the flaming scimitar and makes it come alight for warmth. Although it's not very good for keeping quiet. She makes it go
Certainly
off
start a
again.
fire though, and that is, so that's not nothing. Wow. Yeah, you are certainly equipped well. I also wanted to check in. I know this is kind of awkward, but I know earlier you were doing such a good job, making sure that Casey didn't murder those children before they go off and get killed by some horrible creature later. And I don't know, you've been fitting in real well, but everybody's talking about returning Shalati, and you're here out of your own world too. Are you okay? How are you doing? This must be a shock.
She's quiet for a handful of seconds, and there is a look on her face of just intense anger. And then she blinks and it slides off her face. And she says, "Well, it isn't great. I came because, well, part of me doesn't even remember. I mean, I remember her dying. And the other part of me came because I wanted to be back with her, and none of that happened, so that worked out great. But you do what you can with what you have."
So, did you come through on purpose to try and be with Shalati, or
Of course.
in our?
Also, I'm pretty sure I was dead, and I did not want to be. And then Casey said that it would be fine. And let me tell you, that might be the last time that I believe him, because it was not fine. Because Shalati was left behind, and that was not what I wanted. I don't know. I mean, I guess at least Silas was wrong, so I can rub that in his face if I ever see him again.
I guess I didn't understand what had happened. I thought you came from just a different version of Mirwood. Like there was like you slipped through the same place we lost Shalati through. Are you? Surely you're not the same Ichlan who died when Shalati was 10.
Sorry, I really want to make it inside me there too, Wolves joke. Part of me is Tala, who went out with Mama and Salat and on the diamond, and then there was a storm, and then I got as far as, I don't really remember actually what happened, but I'm pretty sure I fell overboard, and then there was just a lot of pain, and like my skull was being crushed or something. Lots of pain. Woke up in a strange place. Kept walking. Went to another strange place. Met a strange guy. And then I saw some people pass through, and two of those people were Seifred and Eva, who I actually did not really recognize at first because they were so old. And then I heard Lottie, and then I knew that there could be some sort of interaction or some sort of, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, part of me is that too.
Yeah, Shalati does a thing in combat sometimes, and she summons up this. She calls it Ichlon. She uses your name, but I always assumed it was a spell, like what Casey can do when he can duplicate himself a bunch of times. You know, the other Caseys are part of the spell. There is just one Casey.
Someone mentioned that before. Asked if I had come. It was not either of me.
Right.
Maybe there is another reality where that is one. I don't know. I mean, she didn't look like me, did she? And that version that Shalati had called up does not actually look like this Ishtalon exactly. Hair's different, clothing's different. That version actually matched Shalati a lot more.
No, not particular. It looked like a mirror image of Shalati.
And to make
slight differences.
To make sure that we understand, like Shalati's build is very broad and strong, and Ishtalan is much more like lithe. Is that right?
Yeah, she's still just as tall, but she is a little more on the skinny side. Not like a twig, but yeah, not as built. She did not focus in there.
So, Ishlan, do you have memories and things of 10 on, or is it just that? Do you remember coming here with us? I don't. You've been acting like it's nothing, but as far as I'm concerned, you came back from the dead.
I mean, I did, sort of. It's not. I mean, this body is certainly not the one that I died in. So I can only assume it's the one that the other part that I remember comes from. And it's not like any of them feel more dreamy than the other or unreal. I just remember both. It is both true that I died when I 10. It's also true that Slati died and I kept going on. And I have memories that actually be surprisingly similar from what you all have said. At least I was not surprised to some extent to be in Mirwood or to hear about undead. And certainly all of you look pretty much the same. You're still cute.
Huh? Thanks, I guess. Thanks. Yeah, I mean,
looks out into the darkness.
I guess I guess you're doing better than I figured you would. I suppose thankfully haven't had as many of those splits or those missed memories. At least none in which I remembered my own death. That sounds just awful. But
I don't recommend.
Well, I'm glad you seem to be settling all right, and I'm glad that If we aim to get Shalali back, it doesn't mean we'll be losing you again.
She's silent for a minute at this and then just smiles and says, I should probably go walk around. And she gets up and heads off into the darkness. It seems to vanish very quickly, even to half-elven eyes.
Sometime later, Araya, you're still awake, and Beth, you're just on the verge of kind of falling asleep for the night, but you're still awake for a moment. The fire crackles nearby, and there's a break of a log that wakes you up just enough.
She sits up and is like, "Oh, I'll feed you soon." Oh, wait, what?
You can go back to sleep. It's fine.
Oh. And she kind of looks at the fire and she's like, I swear I heard it ask for more.
Did you? Should I get some more? I can get a twig.
Yeah, just to be safe, we should make sure it's not hungry.
Yeah. She sort of like sets her book aside, brushes off her skirts, and goes and finds like some of the nearby roughage that they had collected to build the fire in the first place.
Beth is
kindling. That's the word. Kindling.
Beth has taken out one of her many weapons, just kind of poking at the flames, and she's like looking at it funny, just to make sure she wasn't like half asleep to hear it. She definitely was asleep enough to like she like dreamt that it said something. She's kind of poking it to see if it'll do something.
Yeah, there's no strange response from the fire, but you can see the embers crawling and glowing in the bottom. But for the moment, it's just Araya and Kabeth together. A lot of the others either seem to be maybe walking or asleep.
Do you miss your fire at home? Are you excited to get back to it? Do you think it's still burning?
Burning? Oh, I don't know. I mean, it was kind of low when I left. It seemed like my siblings were going to do some work, but I don't know. I do want to go home. I hate this. I don't like being on the road. I know that I'm quick on my feet, but honestly, I just want to go back to my cozy bedroom, just curl up with a book and not be outside.
Maybe you're quick so that you can get home more quickly.
Yeah, but you guys aren't fast as me, so I can't go without you. I have to wait for everyone, you know.
Well, I don't know if it's something that you would want, but I've been communing and praying, and I found sort of a ritual that could break the cursed item if you felt that was something that you didn't.
I mean, if we really start running out of food, that's a good idea. Because if I don't get to eat enough, then I'll probably die. I mean, that happens with everyone, but like, especially, you know what I mean? Like, how if I don't eat like a whole lot more than everyone else, then I can't rest the same way, and my magic kind of diminishes. So if things get bad, I don't want to eat everyone else's rations, you know.
I was just thinking, since you don't have, you can't be as fast as you want to be, but you're still more hungry than you want to be, that it could be a burden you could pick up later.
Yeah, that's good to know. Thanks, Araya.
Oh, for sure. I didn't bring a single book on this journey. I didn't think it was going to be this long, and I didn't think we'd have any downtime. But it's surprising how there's time where we're not in danger with nothing to do.
Beth reaches into her pocket and pulls out the book that Esmond gave her. She's like, "Oh, well, I acquired this one at the library, and I'm not giving it back, obviously. But I'm too tired to read it now. But if you want to look at it for a while, you can.
I'm sleeping a lot less, and a book would help.
Yeah, just give it back to me when you're done.
Yeah.
However, it requires one book.
Ritual book, inside ritual book, entertaining book, as if she's like cheating on her homework.
And sometime a bit later, Beth finally managed to drift off to sleep enough to actually start her long rest, and it seems like the others are asleep at this point as well, leaving Araya alone. It's, as you're on watch, the fire's burned down low enough to where you notice something you didn't notice before when the flames of the fires were higher. There's the faintest purple light coming from the forest just not too far outside of camp.
Which direction?
We'll say just slightly to the east.
Of our friends, who has the best low light vision?
You.
Shit. Oh, I know. She'll stir. Who's the least likely to glow? So I was gonna pick Casey, but no. Is Shalon. She'll kind of like nudge her shoulder. I'm gonna look.
Huh?
Can you see that to the east?
She looks to the east. And Juliet.
With your eyes fully adjusted from having been asleep, yeah, there's like a pale purple light.
You stay here. I'm gonna be invisible, and I'm gonna go look at it, and then we'll come right back.
Better idea. Why don't we both go invisibly?
No, because it could be a distraction to kill everyone in camp, and I'll be invisible, and it'll be fine, and I'll just come right back. I'm not gonna do
Shalon's just gonna start moving away, and she actually very rapidly she's not using light in this area, right? Or is Array depending on dark vision?
I'm using dark vision. Yeah.
Is it not? Is it dark right now?
Yes, it is.
That's
It is
slightly
the very short evening.
Okay. She takes a few steps beyond the light of the fire, and the shadows just seem to wrap around her.
Can I see her?
Unless you have something other than dark vision, no.
Can you? And then she gets all invisible.
Okay, so you both vanish from sight. Presumably, you're both moving to investigate.
They're very smart, sleeping friends. It's great.
She's leaving all our friends helpless in their sleep.
Yeah, you don't have to travel very far. It's just beyond the little copse of trees. There's a purple light. But it's almost like a. Is it a fog? It's hard to tell. It's hard to understand what you're seeing. You get a little bit closer, and you can see that there's almost this ambient light.
Is the light coming from the fog?
You realize it's not coming from anything at all, but you realize more distinctly the landscape here is just a little tiny bit different. It's not covered in snow. It's almost autumn. And wait, did the sun start to come up? You can see
Array will be back. back up and see if she can see if there's a portal that they're passing through.
So you look around, the two of you kind of bump into each other unknowingly.
I'll grab your hand.
You realize, there's no, it's not like the tear that you found in the woods south of Shepherd's End that was so distinct, like shattered glass just out, like part of the world had broken. This is differently. There's no distinct edge to it. But Ishtalan, you've seen this before. You saw this in the place between. And Silas talked to you about it. This isn't like the tears. This isn't like the things that the Angel of Doors deals with. There are places where the veil to the Feywild is thin. And this one isn't complete enough that you could travel there. But you're able to peek through just a bit. And Silas told you something very distinct about the one in the place between. It was the only stable doorway to another place that he had found. The tears, they can grow or shrink or disappear, appear somewhere else, but in the place between there was a veil to the Feywild that didn't go away.
Oh no.
Go for it.
And you know that this one here in front of you is not you couldn't pass through it. You're just looking.
Have you ever... do I know of this from like my adult memories? Like, have I heard of the Feywild, I should say?
Yeah. You've probably read things about it, but your memories in the space between are distinct.
This before, she whispers, like, she pulls her close and whispers in her ear, trying to be as soft as possible.
Araya becomes visible when it becomes very obvious that it's not a person, it's just a place, and therefore not nearly as terrifying. But so she can hear. She sort of whomps into view. What?
She grabbed her shoulder to hold her in place so that she can just whisper in her ear without, like, knocking heads. And says, you've heard of the Feywild, right? There's a portal to it in the Pale Lands. The stables, not like the doors. It doesn't open and close. This one doesn't look like it's big enough or present enough to actually pass through, but if it became, maybe we could use that and get to the Pale Lands through the Feywild as well. Although, when Silas Remden talked about it, he always swore a lot.
Well, it seems like a lovely place.
I don't know about that. Maybe interesting in the cursed kind of way.
She sort of looks around and tries to, like, touch a plant. Does her hand just pass through?
Yeah, it's interesting. As you reach out to touch for it, it's almost as though, as you reach out to interact with it, oh, wait, no, you have to go just a little bit farther. It's just a little bit out of reach. It's over there.
Sure, sort of like gazes around. Is it a danger to us? Or is it just good to know about a stable place here to there?
I think it's good to know about, and I do not know enough about it to maybe keep an eye on it and see if it gets more present or less.
So like this place in between could thin, and then this could be a part of more of a door, more of a.
She shrugs and then realizes Rhea can't see her, and says, "Maybe I don't know, but it's worth. Like I said, it's worth keeping an eye on this."
What if we could farm in here and bring food back to the villagers? That'd be amazing.
I don't get the impression from what I have heard that eating anything from it is a very good idea because it might eat you instead.
Oh, I
Or
heard a
like,
different
you know,
version.
take roots and then burst out of you, and I think we want to avoid that.
No, it's that if you eat something, you get stuck there, right?
Wait, or is that a different story?
I don't remember. I never heard the
Someone
roots
would know.
one. I think we should
Anyway,
make
we
sure
should-
this wasn't a very beautiful distraction and all her friends
Yes.
are dead.
Yes.
Hightails it back to camp.
As you turn around to head back to camp, everyone who's asleep, please make a disadvantage perception check.
Abandon dust.
I did try. Goodness sakes.
Some of us are light sleepers.
All of you are light sleepers, apparently. Which, you know, makes
amazing.
sense given everything they've gone through.
Wow, despite the disadvantages, really good rolls.
Incredible.
I knew we couldn't trust them.
Tried it.
I couldn't sleep. I just knew it. I was like, there's no way we can.
Try to catch us by surprise now, Chris.
That's an arc. Oh, literally all of you. Well, not well. Everyone but
Roll.
That's a 19, right?
You mean I have to have a 20 to...
Amazing.
Literally everyone
Never
but
mind.
I step AFK. What are we rolling?
Oh, Peach, please roll a disadvantage perception check.
Beth is having a particularly heavy honk shoe right now.
Chris, don't forget the kids.
Oh, they all fail it. Oh no, let me roll for. I'll roll for the kids.
Yes.
Oh, Peach is still asleep too.
Okay. Yeah. Beth.
You and me, Beth.
Beth and Peach. Yeah. Well, like everyone else, you just hear the faintest snap of twig, the shift of something in the snow. It's just enough to wake you up. Fire's burning. Wait, where's Araya? Where's Ishtalan? You see them coming back to camp. Why are they moving so slowly? Why are they crouched? Is that a blade? You see one of them moving it towards Somsel's neck.
Oh, I cast a spell.
All right. You you begin to weave your spell. The person there freezes. You hear another bit of this movement in the snow behind you. Another one off to the side. No, there's more. There's more than just one person. But there's half a dozen. You see spears. They have frozen in place. You wake up. You're able to get to your feet. Not surprised. In the bit of small, low campfire light, you see half a dozen humanoid creatures, scales, brilliant feathers that flash into color. It's beginning to wake up. They're holding weapons of bone. It's hard to tell. They have wide, fierce eyes, just like Poppy.
Do
They
they look like Eggy?
They do.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we kill Muna's family, she might be a little pissed.
And just in that moment, you hear a voice up from the side. Wait, te tu Somalia. And they all freeze. You see one of them, seventh, holding up a hand. And it's pretty egg girl. That's where we'll pause for tonight.
Guys, I didn't fall asleep in a session. I'm so excited.
Ya-da-da.
Hooray!
Under the light
You
of
have
the
so much
moon.
power now.
It's ironic because Allie didn't fall asleep, but Kabeth didn't wake up.
Dude, those perception rolls, though.
Right?
Huge.
I don't know who I need to thank, but I rolled 3 natural 20s this session. I didn't roll bad a single time. This is a
I
first
rolled
for
all the
Esme.
ones. I rolled all the ones, so it was.
We should do this more often.
Yes. No.
Absolutely you should. Because remember, Jess has the ability to change her ones with her little magic item.
That's true.
Yeah.
Actually, if
Magic
anyone's
item.
gonna get them, sorcerer
And class.
power,
Sorcerer,
And,
yeah.
Yeah.
and
So-
it's
So yeah, have her take the ones. That way she can be like, one? What one? And just hand wave it away.
Speaking of that magic item, please give it to me.
You see, you can already re-roll like 18 times.
That's yeah.
One more is 19.
Oh man.
I'm going to sleep. Good night, everybody.
Oh,
See you soon.
good night.
Good night.
Night.
Great work.
Thank you so much for playing.
I have to pop off early too because the bean is asleep right next to me. Good
Oh,
night.
good night.
Good night.